So the other topics that I want to talk about, I want to spend like maybe 5 or 6 minutes on Lucky Hank. I'm gonna try and remember the this stuff here. So if you remember, like a few months ago or whenever it was, I talked to Phoenix about this film called Nobody, which had Bob Odenkirk in it, and it was this live action like action movie like on the level sort of like a John Wick spin. Bob Odenkirk John Wick featuring Bob Odenkirk, or at least it had the vibe of that. And then you had Better Call Saul, where Bob Odenkirk has that like. My point is right, like Bob Odenkirk's played these roles where he's just been in these dramatic moments and stuff like that. But apparently he's a stand-up comedian. So Bob Odenkirk comes along and there's a show that comes out called Lucky Hank, and Lucky Hank, for those who don't know, is the new comedy drama series that he made that's came out recently with Bob Odenkirk. And I wanted to talk about it because I saw it and I wanted to give my thoughts on it. So from what I remember, it's about this middle-aged guy, like, and he's depressed and he has like a terrible kind of like, it's not like the most pleasing lifestyle or whatever, not the best life. He's just like this teacher trying to get by and all of this stuff. But he says this thing about the school like being mediocre, and then it kind of like backfires, and then it's like, he should not be the chairman of this school because he said this thing against it. Oh, that stuff, and it's like a 20-minute episode, I want to say, or 40 minutes or whatever, because there was ads during it as well, like every 5 minutes, so it kind of played into the runtime and it made it a bit longer. So it had that going for it. But Bob Odenkirk, as per usual, well, he's just like, what is there more to say than Bob Odenkirk is a very good actor. He does a very good job in this show. It's just the rest of the show just feels a bit slow. Like it just takes a while to get going. So I hope for the next few weeks or whenever it is that this show does pick up, because I can see it has some potential. Because you know when you watch a TV show, right, and you have all these episodes, but the first episode is kind of just trying to set things up or trying to get into the mood of it or establish things. Yeah, and it just kind of gets a bit slow. Yeah, that's kind of what this felt like. It sort of reminded me of The Last of Us, where like the first episode was very, very slow, but I don't know if the show is going to be like, picked up the pace after episode 2 or something like that. So I do hope that it gets better and better and better and better, but I will say that this show is not mind-blowing. I wasn't like, but it is, there are some funny moments. Like, there's this part when, like, there's this, like, Karen character that hits him with a notebook or something like that, and his nose is bleeding and all of this stuff. So there's these kind of moments in there, but to say that it's, like, mind-blowing, 90% Rotten Tomatoes, whatever. No, it's not 90%. I say it's like a 7 out of 10 or a 6 out of 10. It's okay. It has more that it needs to do, and once it gets there, I feel like once it gets to that point where the show picks up and all that, then I think it's good. And I've seen this video of like this one guy or these two guys or whatever saying that there are elements of The Office in this show, like The Office, that sitcom, because there is like these office kind of things where you go into the office, and then there's also like Bob Odenkirk has Hank has like this wife, and she becomes this teacher as well, and all that stuff, and it has all this drama stuff. But I do not think like Bob Odenkirk is kind of the thing carrying it. Like if there's a redeeming quality of the episode, definitely that. Like the actors aren't bad, but it's like this could have been like way better as a pilot, but without I feel like I'm talking in circles here, but it's just it should hopefully pick up, and I'm just gonna leave it there because I'll just keep repeating myself, because yeah, maybe I need to go back and rewatch the episode, but yeah, that's pretty much all it is for that side of things. So yeah, and I will get around to Better Call Saul, obviously. Like, I'm still enjoying Breaking Bad, but yeah, this show, hopefully, just hoping Hank Hank, Lucky Hank, listen here. You better get good. You better get good. You better become the best show of all time, right? That's actually kind of crazy though, because like, right, you know, there's Hank in Breaking Bad, and then there's Hank in Better Call Saul. It's kind of a cool little connection. It's just like like an unexpected coincidence. It's like, oh, like Bob Odenkirk was a part of the Breaking Bad universe, and then his show is all about Lucky Hank. And it's kind of ironic that it's called Lucky Hank because his life is like unlucky. It's like that whole thing about Happy Gilmore, like the Adam Sandler movie. It's like it's ironically he's happy, but all this stuff happens that doesn't really feel like that. But with that said,